What's up everyone and welcome to another episode where we're going to talk about Magento. Now, I don't use it in any current projects, but many companies rely on this CMS e-commerce platform. Not only that, but many companies are using a completely outdated version that can be easily hacked and allow credit card skimmers to be installed on the site. Let's see what we can learn to protect ourselves and others from this story.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
Something like 200,000 websites use Magento. But what is it? Magento, in case you don't know, is an e-commerce website platform now owned by Adobe that specializes in e-commerce websites. Analysts have found the source of a mass breach of over 500 e-commerce stores running the Magento 1 platform, and involves a single domain loading a credit card skimmer on all of them. According to Sansec, the attack became evident late last month when their crawler discovered 374 infections on the same day, all using the same malware. The domain from where the threat actors loaded the malware is naturalfreshmall.com, currently offline, and the goal of the threat actors was to steal credit card information of customers on the targeted online stores. Sansec's subsequent investigation unveiled that the attackers abused a known vulnerability in the Quick View plugin to inject rogue Magento admin users that could then run code with the highest privileges. The abuse happens via adding a validation rule into the customer_EAV_attribute table. This tricks the host app into crafting a malicious object, which is then used to create a simple backdoor API_1.php. The validation rules for new customers are the clever part of the attack, as this triggers the payload to be injected into the sign-up page. In practice, though, siphoning payment details using Magecart attacks, or skimmers, is more beneficial to the threat actors. That's why this particular wave of attacks focused on doing precisely that. Sansec points out that in an extreme case, the adversaries injected as many as 19 backdoors on a single e-commerce platform, possibly experimenting to figure out what works best for their purpose, or just being very serious about its redundancy. Adobe has stopped supporting the Magento 1 branch of the popular e-commerce platform since June 30th, 2020, but thousands of sites are still using the outdated software. This makes the sites vulnerable to a wide range of hacker attacks, and by extension, puts the sensitive details of their customers at risk. These details typically include credit card numbers, shipping addresses, names, phone numbers, email addresses, and generally all that's needed for placing an online order. It is strongly recommended that all Magento admins confirm they are using the latest version of the platform and upgrade if using older, unsupported versions. Hackers often create malicious user accounts on Magento sites that have been compromised. Check all your user accounts, especially Magento administrators. In addition to injecting the credit card skimmers, the hackers can also use the API_1PHP backdoor to execute commands on the remote server, leading to a complete site takeover. To make your store safe, install an SSL certificate on your store website, insist on the latest version of Magento, use strong passwords, use Magento's scan tool to scan your e-commerce store. So what can we learn? Well, you should never, ever be using any software that has reached or is past its end-of-life date. That goes for Drupal versions, WordPress versions, Magento, or any other software that is past its end-of-life period. Now, there are cases where companies put out fixes for software that is past end-of-life, but these instances are extremely rare, so don't hold your breath. Having a website, or an e-commerce site, or a piece of software developed has long-term costs. There's no getting around it. There are updates, there are patches, there are bug fixes, there are upgrades to new versions. That's all just a part of doing business. If you're not used to it yet, then the next few years are going to be pretty crazy for you. If you think that companies are not going to be pushing out more patches faster, then you have not been paying attention. Governments are getting involved. Think about the Log4j vulnerability as an example. The FTC threatened organizations with financial penalties if they don't fix it in their software. This is going to expand, Anyone who builds software will be looking at liabilities if they do not increase their efforts to be ahead of malicious activity and find and then fix bugs as quickly as possible. So put on your superhero tights and strap in. This is going to be wild. With that, I say thanks again for watching this episode. Don't forget to share it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Don't forget to ride!